Welcome to this book review. Today I wanted to do a book review that I have recently read called To Train Up a Child. The author is Michael and Debbie Pearl. It was recommended to read by another father, by another family, and they said that if nothing else, just read the book, see what you think. And so I did. So what I would do is I would like to first off state that I don't even know Michael Pearl. Okay, I have never met the guy. So I don't know anything about him. This is straight just a book review about To Train Up a Child and what I found helpful and maybe what I did not find helpful. First, I would like to say, To Train Up a Child, do not get misled by, you cannot judge a book by its cover. This book was, it looks like it was hand drawn, and here, I'll get it up close. It looks like it was hand drawn. It looks like an Amish family, that being pulled by a horse, and it's not really an Amish book or a Mennonite book or anything like that. I do believe that Michael Pearl, he says in here that he lives in or close to an Amish family, and part of what he was noticing with this family was just the fact that when the parents of the family would say something, the children obeyed. When the father said stop, the kids stopped. When the mother said come over here, they came over here. And part of that was on the book, it was this wagon, kind of like a carriage, goes on the road. Now, a tractor trailer passes by. This horse has to be trained to complete obedience so that it does not take off and run in front of the tractor trailer. Does that make sense? Okay, so what Michael Pearl started noticing and started picking up was that how can a family help train children in order for them to grow up and obey their parents? I have been in restaurants, I have been in different places, I'm sure you have too, where a kid just throws a hissy fit, just throws a fit, and the parents, they're embarrassed. The kid won't stop, he won't be quiet, and every act that the parent is doing only makes it worse, only makes a bigger scene. Okay, so this book is really how to avoid those type of situations, but how to train up a child. If you spank your children, that's up to you. If you do not spank your children, that's up to you. Okay, this isn't a video about that. We're going to review a little bit more about the book and go from there. Something that I really liked about Michael Pearl's book is the fact that it's a book about, it's not so much how to train the child as it is how the training of the parent, the discipline and interdiscipline that is needed as a parent in order to effectively communicate what it is your desires are, and for this child to perform that at a level that is satisfactory to you and to what it is you need. My father was very skilled at training animals. However, sometimes when the family, he was not very skilled in training children. And I think the reason about that, I never understood that until I read Michael Pearl's book, is that my father and I started out with a family like this, is that I did not have the patience that I should have had. And he didn't have the patience that he should have, but I didn't have the patience that I should have, because I just kind of expected the children to hear what I said and then comply with what I said. And if you've ever experienced that, or you've ever thought that, or run into that, just in the comments, just let me know, just so I'll have the feedback on the next book review. Michael Pearl talks about that is, that kind of gets missed sometimes, and that's something that I missed, is that it's not, children are not born knowing all the rules. Our job, and Michael talks a very good deal about training a child, not disciplining the child into obedience, training the child into obedience. A good example of this is the fact, like the Marine Corps. And if any of you have ever been in the Marine Corps or any type of armed forces, you will attest to this. Is that the person who enters the Marine Corps starts out, they're not a Marine. They have to go through a process. Now, they are trained to this process by a drill instructor. Now, the drill instructor has already been disciplined to the point to where they can effectively communicate their points and effectively communicate the wants and desires to another person. And it takes time to build that person to the level of a Marine or of somebody that's in the Army or the Air Force, or pick whatever your favorite branch of service is. That's where children are. That's a good thing that I learned from this book, is the fact that it requires more discipline for the parent to be able to continue to tell the child, no, do not do this. No, do not do this. No, do not do this. Until just blowing up for an hour and blowing up, going, you know what? Fine, forget it. Take whatever it is you want. I'm tired of dealing with you. See, that was my fault. That was my problem. And before long, what happens is, and Pearl talks to us about, the child starts to train the parent. That's a bad thing. And how to reverse a lot of that. I believe Michael Pearl loves his children, loves his grandchildren, and wants only what's best for them. And like I said, I don't know the guy, but from reading the book about not just beating people into submission, that's not what the book is about. What I find helpful about the book is being able to take real world examples on how one person could have a large family with love and patience, getting those children to listen to what dad said or mom said, and then to actually comply and to actually fulfill what your wants and desires were. If you have a large family, let's say it's mealtime, you say, Johnny, I want you to set the table. Billy, want you to call your other brothers and sisters to the table. And this other person need help in the kitchen with bringing food to the table and it actually being done. Instead of, well, hey, we told you to go get everybody else, but you started playing in the playroom. Why didn't you listen? We go through some of that, and this book really helped me in learning how to effectively deal with that, and how to, I don't know if you spank your children. Sometimes you might lose your cool. I don't think that's a very good thing to do. This book helps in not doing that. You see from this book, Michael Pearl does a very good job about how to stop tantrums, stop from going overboard with things because you did the little things right in the very beginning. The thing I do not like about the book is the fact that he kind of leans a little bit towards just using examples as his material. I'm the type of person, see, this is a book review, and so I read the book and then I basically analyze it later. And it was mainly just a bunch of examples, okay, towards the end. But then I was thinking, that's actually a good thing, because even though I didn't like it, that's not like how I like books to go. This is more of a training manual. It's not meant to be a novel. It's not meant to be a nonfiction book. It's meant to help people. And what I got from it is that the training techniques, I'm going to read this because I worked into the video. Training is a technique that always works on every child. To neglect training is to create miserable circumstances for you and your child. Out of ignorance, and that's where I was too, out of ignorance, many have bypassed training and expected discipline alone to effect proper behavior. It hasn't worked. That doesn't work. That's where I was. I thought just discipline, was what made people shape up. And it's not. It's training. The Bible says to train up a child in the way they should go, not beat up a child in the way they should go. Do you see the difference? I hope you do, because that's where the book review really came in with me, is that no, I don't beat people. That's not where I'm going with that. What I'm saying is the fact that I did not really realize how much training went into me in order to effectively train everybody else. Um, take that for what it's worth. I appreciate you guys hanging with me. If you're still with me, give me a likes. If you have read the book, and give it a thumbs up. If you haven't, or you don't know what I'm talking about, that's okay. Write in a comment, ask a question. There's other people on these comments that can really help. Make sure you subscribe. I would appreciate that, and so you don't miss out on anything in the future. So thank you very much. There is a link in the description where you can actually get your copy. If you need a copy from Amazon, they'll ship it right to you. So thank you for staying with us.